The morning sun glowed through the tall glass windows of MathCorp Industries as Mr. Anderson, the arrogant billionaire CEO, stormed into the tech lab. Everyone froze. His expensive Italian shoes clicked sharply on the marble floor. He slammed a tablet on the table. "None of you could fix this code," he barked. Engineers lowered their heads. Maria, the humble maid, quietly mopped the corner floor. Her little daughter, Lily, sat near the cleaning trolley reading an old math book. The CEO's tone was filled with disgust as he laughed. "I swear I could hire a janitor's kid, and she'd still fail at this." The whole room laughed with him. Maria's heart sank, but Lily's eyes lifted with calm fire. She whispered, "Mom, what's wrong with the code?" Maria shook her head nervously. "Sweetheart, stay quiet, this isn't our place." But Lily walked closer, her small hand clutching the book. "Sir," she said softly, "can I try?" The room burst into laughter. Mr. Anderson smirked. "Oh, really? Fine. Fix this, and I'll give you $100 million. He thought it was a joke. Everyone watched as Lily took the tablet. Her little fingers typed fast. In seconds, the red error line turned green. Silence filled the lab. The screen flashed, system restored. Mr. Collins gasped. "It's fixed." Mr. Anderson froze. Maria covered her mouth in disbelief. Lily looked up and said calmly, "You just forgot a simple command line." The CEO's laughter died instantly. The world turned quiet. The once powerful man now stared at a little girl who had just done what his entire company couldn't. The lab stood silent. Everyone's eyes were on Lily, the maid's daughter who had just fixed what a team of elite engineers couldn't. Mr. Anderson blinked twice, his face pale. "What? How did you do that?" he stammered. Lily looked up innocently. "It was just a missing bracket, sir." Mr. Collins leaned forward, whispering in disbelief. "She's right. The code works perfectly now." Jessica's jaw dropped. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then suddenly, a few employees began clapping, softly at first, then louder. Maria's hands trembled. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Mr. Anderson, embarrassed by the sudden admiration for the little girl, forced a fake smile. "Well, good guess, kid," he muttered. "You just got lucky." But his voice cracked with insecurity. He quickly turned to Maria and barked, "Take your daughter and leave. This is a workplace, not a playground." Maria nodded quietly, tears forming in her eyes. She reached for Lily's hand, whispering, "Come, sweetheart." But Lily didn't move. Her eyes, full of quiet confidence, stayed fixed on Mr. Anderson. "You said if I fix it, you'll give me $100 million, she said calmly. The entire room went still again. Mr. Anderson froze, trying to laugh it off. "That was sarcasm, little girl. You don't actually expect me to pay you." Lily blinked. "I didn't do it for money, sir. I just wanted to help." That one sentence hit everyone like lightning. Mr. Collins whispered, "Sir, we should reward her. That fix just saved us millions." Anderson's jaw tightened. "Enough!" he shouted. He turned and stormed out, leaving an awkward silence behind. Maria hugged her daughter tightly, whispering, "You did something great, my love." But Lily looked up and said quietly, "He's angry because he's afraid people like him hate being wrong." Maria looked at her daughter, tears rolling down her cheeks. For the first time, she realized her little girl wasn't just smart, she was powerful. Chapter 3 coming soon. You won't believe what happens when the CEO discovers who Lily really is. Don't forget to subscribe to see the next part. The next morning, the entire company was buzzing with whispers. News about the maid's daughter who fixed the $100 problem spread like wildfire. Maria tried to avoid the gossip, keeping her head down as she cleaned the executive floor. But every time she passed, people looked at her differently, some with respect, some with jealousy. In his office, Mr. Anderson sat fuming. He slammed his fist on the desk. "How did that little girl solve what Collins couldn't?" he growled. Jessica hesitated before replying, "Sir, maybe you should see her file." Anderson frowned. "File? What file?" Jessica handed him a tablet. "Lily's been part of our employee scholarship program. She's been taking online classes in coding and robotics under our sponsorship, top of her class, sir." Mr. Anderson's face went pale. "What?" He scrolled through her records, straight A's, national-level awards, even a letter of recommendation from a Silicon Valley mentor. She's not just a maid's daughter, Jessica said softly. She's a prodigy. Anderson pushed the tablet away. I won't be made a fool by a child. Meanwhile, down in the cafeteria, Lily sat beside her mother, quietly drawing circuit diagrams on a napkin. Mr. Collins walked in and smiled warmly. You've got a gift, Lily. If you ever want to work here officially, I'll make sure you have a desk next to mine. Maria's eyes widened. Oh no, sir, she's too young. But Collins interrupted gently. Genius doesn't wait for age, Maria. Just then, Mr. Anderson entered, his voice sharp as a knife. You think you can embarrass me, huh? He snapped at Lily. You think this company runs on kindness and luck? Lily stood up slowly, her small frame steady and fearless. No, sir, she said. It runs on respect. Something you forgot. The room went silent. Even Mr. Collins looked stunned. Anderson's face turned red, his pride cracked wide open. He took a step closer, glaring. You're fired, he said coldly to Maria. Gasps echoed. Maria's hand flew to her mouth. Sir, please, she's just a child. But Anderson turned and walked out, leaving mother and daughter standing in stunned silence as everyone watched. Chapter 4 coming next. When power, truth, and karma collide, justice will find its way. Don't forget to subscribe to see what happens next. The next day, dark clouds hovered over the city, fitting for the storm brewing inside Anderson Industries. Maria and Lily quietly packed their belongings in the small janitor's closet. Lily's eyes glistened, but she stayed strong. It's okay, Mama. Maybe this is how God tests us. Maria forced a smile, though her heart broke. Meanwhile, upstairs, Mr. Anderson strutted into a board meeting, confident he had silenced the humiliation. But fate had other plans. Jessica entered with a folder and a grim expression. Sir, before we begin, she said, you need to see this. She placed a printed email on the table. Anderson grabbed it impatiently, his eyes narrowing as he read. It was a report from Global Tech International, the partner company they had been negotiating with. We've reviewed your AI prototype, the letter said, and we are impressed by Miss Lily's contribution. We wish to offer her a full scholarship and a contract for future collaboration. The entire boardroom went silent. One of the directors asked, Sir, who is Lily? Jessica replied, her voice steady. The maid's daughter you fired yesterday. The directors exchanged looks. Mr. Collins spoke next, calm but firm. And she's the one who saved this company $100 million. Anderson's hands trembled. This can't be happening. But it was. Within hours, the news spread across social media. CEO fires Maid after daughter fixes $100 M project. The story went viral, drawing global outrage. Reporters flooded the building, and investors demanded answers. Anderson's empire was crumbling. Downstairs, Maria and Lily stood outside, watching the chaos unfold. Collins approached them with a warm smile. Lily, he said gently, Global Tech wants to meet you in London. They're offering a full scholarship. You deserve this. Maria's tears finally fell, not of sadness, but pride. Lily looked up at the sky, whispering, Thank you, God. Across the street, Anderson watched from his window, realizing too late that respect and kindness were worth more than power. The board fired him the same day. Months later, a ceremony was held in London. Lily, now dressed in a sharp blue suit, stood on stage holding her Innovation Award. Cameras flashed, and applause filled the hall. Maria sat in the front row, her hands trembling with joy. Lily smiled at the crowd and said softly, Never let anyone tell you your worth because of where you come from. Believe in yourself. The audience rose in a standing ovation. If you believe talent has no color or status, hit that subscribe button. Because stories like this deserve to be heard.